The moment I knew something was wrong wasn't dramatic or loud, it was a whisper, a tremor in her voice as she said, "I'll be home late tonight. Big meeting." But she said it while staring at her phone instead of me, her thumb hovering over a notification she tried to hide by turning the screen face down. It wasn't the words that cut. It was the way she swallowed hard, like she was choking on something she didn't want me to see. My wife Megan used to look me in the eyes when she talked. Lately, she couldn't look at me long enough to even smile. And that night, when she walked out the door wearing perfume she usually saved for date nights, I swear a part of me already knew she wasn't coming home to me, not really. For weeks, there had been small things I kept dismissing. She suddenly cared too much about her appearance before work. She stayed late more often than she ever had in 5 years at the company. She'd laugh at her phone but lock it the second I walked into the room. When I'd ask who she was texting, she'd say, "Work stuff, boring." But her cheeks would flush in a way I hadn't seen since we first started dating. I blamed myself at first. Maybe I wasn't giving her enough attention, maybe I was being insecure, maybe marriage just changes. But one night, when I reached for her and she stiffened like my touch startled her, something inside me twisted into a knot I couldn't untangle. It all came crashing down on the day her company held a big celebration event, some kind of milestone party. She'd been oddly insistent that I come, almost too eager, like she needed me there to prove something. I thought maybe she felt guilty for being distant and wanted to reconnect. I didn't know it would be the moment everything inside me shattered. When I walked into the corporate hall, the lights were dim, music playing, people laughing. Megan was across the room, smiling in a way I hadn't seen in months, but not at me. At him. Her boss Lucas. I'd heard her mention him before, but only in the way people talk about management. Seeing her with him felt like someone ripped open my chest. She wasn't just smiling, she was glowing. And he stood too close, touching her arm in a way that screamed familiarity. I tried to convince myself I was overthinking. I forced a smile and walked toward them. "Hey babe," I said, reaching for her waist like I always did. She stepped slightly aside, pretending not to notice. Lucas gave me a nod, polite but cold. "You must be Megan's husband," he said. "I've heard a lot about you." Something about the way he said it made my stomach drop. The night only got worse. Every time I looked at her, she was looking at him. Every laugh she gave him, every gentle touch, every shared whisper. They all stabbed deeper. A coworker I barely knew leaned over to me at the bar and muttered, "Rough night to find out, huh?" When I asked what he meant, he froze like he'd said too much, mumbled something and walked off. My mind spiraled. Find out what? Then the music cut, and the CEO walked onto the small stage with a microphone. "Everyone gather around. We have a special announcement tonight." People clapped and moved closer. Megan looked nervous now, too nervous. Lucas stood beside her, waiting. I felt something awful rising in my throat, like I couldn't breathe. "We are thrilled," the CEO continued, "to celebrate not just professional achievements, but personal ones as well. Tonight we congratulate Lucas and Megan on their engagement." The world stopped. My ears rang. I swear my heart forgot how to beat. For a second I thought it was a sick joke, some mistake, some mix-up with another couple. But then Lucas grabbed her hand, my wife's hand, and lifted it as the room erupted into cheers. Megan didn't deny it. She didn't correct it. She didn't even look at me. She just stood there, trembling, tears in her eyes, and not one of them was for me. I don't remember walking toward them. I only remember standing there, numb, staring at her ring. Something expensive, something new, something I'd never seen before today. "Megan," I whispered. "What is this?" She finally met my eyes, and in them I saw a woman I didn't recognize. A woman who'd already left me long before this moment. "I'm sorry," she mouthed, barely audible. Lucas didn't bother hiding his possession of her. He slipped his arm around her waist, the waist I used to hold, and pulled her closer. Someone nearby joked loudly, "Guess the office romance paid off." People laughed. I felt their laughter like blows. Megan didn't stop him. She didn't move. She let him hold her while I stood there watching my marriage die. "I loved you," I said. It came out soft, broken, not angry, just true. She looked away, ashamed, but not enough to step away from him. Later, after most people had gone and I sat alone at a table trying to piece myself together, she finally approached. "It just happened," she said. "I didn't plan for this." Lucas and we connected. He understands me. Work became more than work. And I didn't know how to tell you. So you let me find out like this? I asked. In front of your entire company? She wiped a tear and whispered. I didn't want to hurt you. I laughed, cold, defeated. You got engaged to another man while still married to me, Megan. You hurt me in every way possible. She begged me not to make a scene, not to ruin her moment. That told me everything I needed to know about who she'd become. I walked out without saying goodbye. The divorce was quick. I didn't fight. I didn't scream. I didn't ask for anything. I just let her go, because she'd already gone long before she ever put that ring on. For weeks afterward I replayed everything, wondering when she stopped loving me. Wondering how I didn't see the signs earlier. Wondering if I wasn't enough. But the truth I eventually reached was painful and simple. Sometimes people change quietly, slowly, until they're nothing like the person you promised your life to. Sometimes love doesn't die with a bang. It slips away in silence while you're busy holding on. And the hardest part of all was realizing that the woman I lost that night wasn't the woman I married in the first place.